You know what I love about being part of a startup and entrepreneurial community? I love the questions that we get sometimes. And here's a question that I just want to touch on by one of our community members. Here we go. He said, can you give your opinion on the topic of many young new generation and entrepreneurs that have a mindset that they are not built for the 9-to-5 job and they want to do business? They get inspired by influencers on social media and starting to hate the 9-to-5 and think that those who do 9-to-5 are inferior to them. But usually these people never get any action and they don't have a plan and they actually think they're going to achieve something. Brother, say less. You got it. You see, the 9-to-5 is not a problem. The 9-to-5 is merely a time box. That's all it is. That's all it is. The 9-to-5 is a focused time box in which someone is working for the purpose of receiving monetary compensation for their time in that time box. That's all it is. If people have issues with the 9-to-5, the corporate job per se, they have a problem with their ego. It's an ego issue. The difference, though, and I think this is where we need to move immediately, is not to look at the 9-to-5 as a negative, but to look at it for what it actually is. It's three distinct things. The 9-to-5 is a time box. Objectively, without any bias, it's a time box. Number two, it's a time box for focus, right? You're supposed to be trading your time and your effort for money. Objectively true. And three, this is where we need to sit. In most cases, the 9-to-5 time box where you are focused and trading your time and work effort for money, the third part is you are working for someone else. You see, that's the difference between entrepreneur and the entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs are the ones who may have a 9-to-5 job, and they're curious enough to maybe want to go out and make that side hustle their main hustle. The entrepreneurs, though, sometimes are deceived because they think that the regular 9-to-5 job in a corporate setting is a waste. So then they should go do something else then. They should go do something else. Because at the end of the day, the practical individual will look at time and say, I have limited time, I have limited budget, I need money so that I can spend that money on the thing that I want to do. And so there's nothing wrong with the 9-to-5. If that 9-to-5 is a means to something greater, right? Now, if I were to take a step back even farther, like really back, nobody should be hating on the 9-to-5 at all. And the reason is because if that individual is doing what is required of them, meaning taking responsibility for their life and doing their best to support themselves, maybe their family, maybe mouths to feed, maybe kids, then that is pure honor. Pure honor. I am never above anybody else. You know, the highest title I could give myself, I would say, is I'm a capital deployer, right? I'm a venture capitalist. But that's just a title. I help people. I work with people. I help people build their ideas, their startups. Right? I try to find investment and money so that they can succeed. That's my job. But there's nothing different from what I'm doing from, say, a baker or someone who's in customer service at a local shop downtown, right? They are spending their time to help people, to communicate with people, to serve them well. And if they're doing that well and honorably, with integrity, then there is nothing that we could say to demean or diminish or derail them. They are doing the honorable thing, supporting themselves and their family, which is first. Not everybody can be so entrepreneur-curious that they have the opportunity to take that side hustle and make it a main hustle. So, TLDR, Is anyone hating on the 9 to 5? They've missed the narrative. They've missed the narrative. What are you going to replace the 9 to 5 with? Make up money, make believe, fictional thinking, wishful thinking that you're going to be awesome when you're not going to put on the work? Why don't you learn how to be a big fish in a small pond? That actually reminds me of a story. I'll tell you this. I had a guy one time who was a car salesman, and I had bought multiple very nice cars from him. And he was talking to me about how he could move up in the world in car salesman. I've told this story before. And the long story short of it is I looked at him and I said, are you the number one salesperson at your car dealership now? And he said, nope. And I said, okay, well then, do that first. Do that first. Prove to this car dealership that you can be the best so that you open up options to move to the next level. Don't be wishing that you were better. Don't be wishing that you could be more successful and sell more cars over here when you haven't even proved it here.